G'day everybody, it's Matt here, and today I thought I would take you through the Crypto.com Defi Wallet app and show you how to deposit into a liquidity pool through VVS Finance. Now, VVS Finance and a lot of other DeFi platforms call these liquidity pools farms. You use two tokens or two cryptocurrencies, you deposit them both into one receipt type of token, and that token earns a yield based on the swap fees that the distributed exchange, aka VVS Finance in this instance, earns from crypto swaps between those two currencies. So I just need to say before we get too far into this that this is not at all financial advice. This is purely for your entertainment, and you should do all of your own research and definitely don't invest in anything that you can't afford to lose. Now, if you've been delving into the DeFi space a little bit, you might have heard about impermanent loss in these liquidity pools or farms, and this is a thing. So impermanent loss basically comes about because you've got two tokens in one of these liquidity pools, right? Those two tokens go in as an equal value when you deposit them, and they will retain an equal value the whole time they're there. However, those two cryptocurrencies or tokens may change value independently while they're there. So one might go up in value, the other might stay the same. And so when that happens, you could have what's known as impermanent loss, because those tokens could be worth less when you withdraw them than if you had just held them on their own outside of the liquidity pool. Whether that's something that you want to do, a risk you want to take, it's up to you. So that's a really big factor to keep in mind when thinking about putting some crypto into a liquidity pool. I'm not going to go into all of the mechanics of impermanent loss and what actually goes on there behind the scenes and why it happens and so on. The point is, though, for this video, that it does happen. So I really want to reiterate, make sure you do plenty of your own research about impermanent loss, about liquidity pools, and about the DEX that you're thinking about using, that is the distributed exchange. So again, I'm going to use VVS Finance in this video, and I'm going to deposit two tokens into a liquidity pool. I'm going to do CRO and VVS into their CRO-VVS farm. So let's jump into the Crypto.com Defi Wallet app, open up VVS Finance and run through the process. So once you're in the app, you want to go to the DeFi browser, which is the middle button down in the menu at the bottom. So that is the browser button. Now, I'm assuming you already have a Crypto.com DeFi wallet set up. If you don't, check out the video up the top there, or it's also linked down in the description for how to actually go about setting a wallet up. And there's also some links down there about how to transfer CRO or CRO onto Cronos for use in DeFi apps like VVS Finance, as well as a bunch of other DeFi related ones. And if you want to learn more about this, make sure you subscribe to my channel, because I'm doing a whole series on VVS Finance and other DeFi related topics based around the Crypto.com and Cronos ecosystems. So make sure you subscribe and check out those other videos for more info. Now, once you are in the web browser within the Crypto.com DeFi Wallet app, you have a bunch of suggested DeFi sites there, or dApps. Now, VVS Finance is usually towards the top of the popular list. If it's not, tap that Cronos dApps button and VVS Finance will probably be there right near the top. You can also search for it using that search box up in the top there as well. So we'll tap on VVS Finance to open that one up. Now, your wallet will probably already be connected if you've been here before, but if not, up in that profile icon there, if you click that, you'll be able to connect, and it'll actually say connect. So I'll just disconnect it really quickly. So it says connect there, connect wallet. So we'll tap connect wallet, and we're using the Crypto.com DeFi Wallet app. And that'll just pull that straight up for you nice and easy like that. So if you haven't used VVS Finance before, you'll definitely have to connect. Now, because we are depositing two tokens into a liquidity pool, we want to go to that earn screen and select farms. And there are two ways that we can actually create the LP or liquidity pool token that we're going to deposit. One is by going to the liquidity pool that we're interested in. The other is by going to the trade screen. On the trade screen, you can say liquidity, and that's going to let you go add liquidity, and you can choose your two tokens that you want to put into a liquidity pool. Now, I like to do it from the farms screen just because this way it pre-selects all the appropriate tokens and you know you're getting exactly the right things. So if we go to earn and farms, and then we scroll into the pool we want. Now, as I mentioned, I'm doing CRO-VVS. So we'll tap on that one and it'll expand it. Now, there's no need to enable the farm just yet, although we will have to do that at some point to deposit the LP. First, we need to get the LP. So there's two ways to do this. If you've already got two tokens, you can use the Get CRO-VVS LP link And that'll be the same on any other pool as well. So for example, if we go to this CRO-USDC pool, we can see there we've got that get CRO-USDC LP. Now the other option is the Flash LP, so Flash CRO-VVS LP, which you would have also seen under that trade option, Flash LP. Now what that option does is that lets you choose one token that you're depositing, and it will exchange 50% of those tokens for the second token to go into that pool. So in this instance, you only need to have one, you don't need to have both, but keep in mind, you're effectively selling half of the amount to get the second token. So when you withdraw that liquidity later on, you'll be getting 2 tokens, not 1. So you'll be getting an equal value of the 2 tokens that went in instead of the full value of the single token that you flashed into the liquidity pool in the first place. So again, I'm going back to that farm. I want to use CRO-VVS, and I'm going to go get CRO-VVS LP because I already have the 2 tokens that I want to put in here. I've got both CRO and VVS. And so we can see it's taking us over to that liquidity screen anyway. And so it's pre-filled with those 2 tokens there. And it's also showing me my balance of both. Now I want to put all of the VVS I have into this, and that's not going to use all of my CRO. So I just click that max button. You can click that on either side of the pool and it will automatically update the other one. So we can see there, I've just switched to the max CRO, and that has told me how much VVS I need, but I don't have that much. So I'm going to click max on VVS again, and it's updated the CRO. Now it's really important to note, you don't want to put all of your CRO into an LP like this, because you have to have CRO in your wallet to perform transactions on the Cronos network. So definitely don't put all your CRO in, or you'll have to transfer more from somewhere else. Now, back on this LP, if we scroll down, it'll tell us the comparative value, how much VVS per CRO or how much CRO per VVS, and what this share of the pool is going to be. So in this case, what I'm putting in is going to be less than 0.01% of the total liquidity pool, but that means I get that percentage of all of the swap fees that occur between these 2 tokens. Might not seem like a lot, but as we saw back on that farm screen at the moment, this is still above 90% APY on these transactions. So that's one of the things you've got to weigh up against that impermanent loss, is whether that return might actually be of greater value to you. So just scrolling down again, we've just got that little bit of an instruction right at the bottom below that supply button. And this says, by adding liquidity, you'll earn 0.2% of all trades on this pair proportional to your share of the pool. Fees are added to the pool, accrue in real time, and can be claimed by withdrawing your liquidity. Now, just a quick note on that, because that might sound a little bit confusing with that share of pool that I mentioned just before. So 0.2% of all trades, so that is the fee on trades, but then you get 0.01% of that because that's your share of the pool, or my share of the pool in this case. So whatever that share of the pool says, that's what percentage you will get of those trade fees, or that 0.2%. Once we're ready to go, click that blue supply button. It will ask us to confirm, and it'll tell us what we're receiving. So it's saying I'll receive 11,903 CRO/VVS pool tokens, and that's going to require 84.9 CRO plus a bunch of VVS at those rates. And there's my actual share of the pool there. So it's very, very small share. Once I'm happy with that, we'll click confirm supply, and it's going to go through and require a wallet confirmation, and it'll tell you what the estimated fee is. So it's telling me now that my estimated network fee is 1.4 CRO. So this is a more expensive transaction because there's a number of actual processes that happen behind the scenes to do this. Once we're all good, we can click that blue confirm button again. Otherwise, if we're not happy, we can reject it. And so that total there is the total cost that's coming out of our CRO balance, which means that's both what's going into the LP plus the network fee. So if you're doing 2 tokens that are not CRO, this will just be your network fee because you're not taking anything out of your CRO balance except for the network fee. So once we're ready to go, we'll click confirm. Now that will be submitted, and it'll usually take a few minutes to process. And there we go. It's actually, before I could even move along, it's actually updated here in my wallet now. It's saying I've got LP tokens, and it's telling me what they are. And so straight away, I can go ahead and enable the Crystal Farm for VVS CRO, and we can see there that the APR is currently 92.64%. So I can enable that from here, or I can go over to the farm and enable it on the farm screen. I'm just going to do it here for convenience because it's already here. Now, there is a CRO fee involved in that because we're basically giving this smart contract permission to access this balance in our wallet. We'll confirm that. That tells us that estimated network fee is fairly low. If you're not happy with that, and all of the fees associated with these. That's something to keep in mind. Now that again is going to require a network confirmation, so it'll do that in the background. And meanwhile, if we go over to that farm screen, we can scroll down to our CRO-VVS balance there, and now we can go ahead and stake that LP. Now this is really important. You've gone to the effort of creating that LP, you've paid the network fees on it, so you want to make sure you actually get the rewards for that. So coming to here, we have that stake LP option, and again, this is just under the CRO-VVS option there where I'm at. So if I expand that again, we can see it's there, stake LP. So if it's not enabled, that'll just have the enable button there still. Once we're ready to stake it, we'll click that stake LP button. It'll ask us how much we want to stake. I'm going to do the max, and it'll tell us what our estimated ROI is based on the current APR rates. So this will change. Don't expect to get that amount because those APRs do fluctuate based on the LP balance and the swap volumes. So once we're ready to go, we'll click confirm. And it'll ask us to confirm the network fee for this transaction or reject it. So we'll go ahead and confirm that. And I think you're probably starting to get a good idea of why you want to make sure you don't use all of the CRO that's in your wallet, because if you do, you're not going to be able to complete all of these extra approvals and confirmations and so on. And that's really frustrating when that happens. Okay, it's telling me that's confirmed, and our rewards will now begin to appear here in this earned rewards section, and it'll say how much VVS has been earned. Now that is an important thing to note, which I probably should have said earlier, is that these pools don't necessarily pay out the same tokens that you've deposited into them. Most of them on VVS Finance pay out in VVS. There are a few that pay out different tokens, but most of them are VVS. So once there are rewards to be redeemed, we would come back here and click that blue harvest button. And again, there's a network confirmation required there, so a CRO fee. So you don't want to do that until it's really worthwhile paying that fee. And then that'll get transferred into your wallet balance. To see how that works and what that process is, check out the video up here on how to harvest your Crystal Farm rewards on VVS Finance. So that's it for today. I hope you found this video helpful, and as I mentioned back at the start, I'm doing a bunch of other videos on VVS Finance and other Cronos related DeFi tools and actions that you might take there. So if you want to stay up to date on those, make sure you click that subscribe button. Also like this video if you found it helpful, and check out the links down in the description for more videos on other DeFi related topics, and also for referral links, many of which have sign up bonuses for other platforms, including Binance, Cake DeFi, SwiftX, Nexo, and so on. If you do happen to use those, you're awesome and I really appreciate it. That's it for me for now. Have an awesome day and I will catch you next time. Bye.